All right, so I wanted to have a little bit of fun today. Of course, with everything going on with DC, Warner Brothers, I wanted to have a little fun. We know we have a Man of Tomorrow, which is going to be coming out in 2027. Lex Luthor, Superman team up. And it was already announced that we're going to be getting Brainiac as the main villain, which I'm stoked about. Brainiac, I think, is a great choice to go with. It's something that's never been done live action movie wise. We did get Brainiac in, of course, that Crypto series, but the fact that we're going to get Brainiac, who is a truly menacing arch villain in the comics, I think it's pretty exciting. So what I wanted to do today is I'm going to give my top 5 choices to play Brainiac. All right, so and I'll throw in an honorable mention in there as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get to it. But before we get to it, if you can, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the love. I'm G. This is Real Rumble. Appreciate everybody who tunes in. So let's go ahead and let's get to it. I wanted to start off with, and this was kind of fun to do because we got to look at somebody who is just an absolute genius, otherworldly type of being, super intelligent, but menacing, emotionless, cold. So I was thinking of just a few different actors and, and then of course, James Gunn is definitely going to throw some curveballs, when it comes to the casting there. Nobody expected David Cornsweet to, be Superman. And I thought he really did a great job as Superman. There was always kind of a little attachment to Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. He just looks like Lex Luthor. And then of course, his portrayal of Lex Luthor was, come on, killed it, right? One of the best parts of the entire movie. Some of the best parts of the entire movie, man, was just Lex Luthor just being just a dick, But, man, let's go ahead and let's have fun with this, okay? So this one is my honorable mention, and the reason it's an honorable mention because I think it's probably the one that's the least likely to happen. However, I have to throw his name in there because this guy is, he's one of the best actors out there, in my opinion. He's an Oscar winner, and that is actually Cillian Murphy, who of course is famously known as Thomas Shelby. He was also Scarecrow, Oppenheimer recently, but, got me almost thinking like Thomas Shelby. Thomas Shelby was always 5 steps ahead of everybody. He was very cold. He was methodical, intelligent. So I think that he could portray Brainiac as kind of like that quiet but terrifying, like force that he is. Similar to like what he did with Scarecrow. But definitely way more like evolved, otherworldly. So that's my honorable mention. I think Cillian Murphy is one of the best actors. And then, of course, Thomas Shelby, my opinion, is one of the top 5 characters in television history, period. Thomas Shelby was the man. So that is my honorable mention. So Cillian Murphy, he would definitely be great in that role. But now let's get to the top 5. So number 5 is I have Giancarlo Esposito. Now, Giancarlo Esposito has definitely been attached with a lot of different projects, especially when it comes to villain roles, just alone for what he did as Gus Fringe in Breaking Bad and, of course, Better Call Saul. Just an absolute menacing villain he was. But Giancarlo Esposito is, just a great actor in all he does. He was recently in The Gentleman. This guy plays in, he was in the show Parish, which was actually a pretty good series, miniseries there. I think that this guy, and and Marvel really fumbled the bag. Marvel had him casted as Sidewinder for Captain America Brave New World, which was just a terrible movie. So and then his character was very, like they really fumbled the bag, not bringing him in as like a main villain. This guy is just a powerful actor. He was the bad guy. He did the Mandalorian. I mean, this guy, I think this guy is a big time actor, big time villain type of material. I mean, he has like a very like controlled intimidation that he does, like especially like his Gus Fringe, like where like there was a scene where he just didn't even talk and he walked in there and Walt's just sitting there, whoa, 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 and he slits the dude's throat. I mean, I think that he would give Brainiac that like real chilling like calmness, where it's just like every little word is going to be like almost like a threat. Right? Or not even him speaking is like just a threat. It's just his action, his demeanor. I mean, Giancarlo Esposito is, I think, and it blows my mind even talking about it right now. I'm like, man, I actually ranked him a little too low on this list, but I think number 5, if this casting were to happen, I know I would be excited, so let me know what you guys think of that one down there below. So, number 4. I have as Bill Skarsgård. Now, this one probably is another one that's probably not going to happen, but come on. Do I really got to explain? Bill Skarsgård recently, of course, his Pennywise. I mean, just that, even though I would personally love for him to be the DCU's Joker, that would be, and if they can get Batman right, and if they can just do it right with Batman, I mean, Bill Skarsgård as the Joker, I think would just be like, I mean, that's chef's kiss, man, right there. But who is better when it comes to the whole prosthetics, that. And just embodying just this other type of like supernatural, otherworldly type creature, right? And Bill Skarsgård, I mean, just recently, Nosferatu. Holy shit. I mean, Nosferatu was, especially his role, and there were scenes, if anybody who's seen Nosferatu, there were scenes where it's just like, and he's just like, on the first night, and powerful acting, and so he's menacing. He's absolutely menacing, just not from Pennywise, but also like Nosferatu. I mean, he was also, and believe it or not, he was actually a villain in The Eternals. He was the voice of that, like that celestial type of being that Icarus was working with. But Bill Skarsgård is going to play. I think he'll eventually come to the DCU in some capacity. I would love for it to be Joker, but if he were to show up, if it were to be him as Brainiac, man, you're going to get something great, a great performance on your hands. Number 3. I have as Kilos Bang. Now, I think I said his name wrong. But this guy, he did a mini-series on Netflix called Dracula. 3 episodes. It was about an hour and a half each. He was also the villain in The Northman, which was directed by Robert Eggers. Awesome movie, which actually starred Alexander Skarsgård, and he was like the bad guy. He was the uncle, and this guy is a great actor, and I can absolutely see him as Brainiac. He's like smooth. He's very like aristocratic, I guess you could say, especially if you've seen Dracula and the way he was, how like menacing he was. I think he would definitely, he makes a perfect fit for like, Brainiac, who's like a superior emotionalist, like conqueror. So I think he definitely has like that calm, like arrogance that Brainiac needs with that emotionalist, like no emotions. So Klaus Bang, I think would be a great choice. And I think that's more in the ballpark. He's definitely like I said, he throws oddball, and we already know he's already tested. His rumor is he's one of the actors to test for it, and I think I'm like, that's great casting there. You probably don't have to pay him as much as you would have to pay like a Bill Skarsgård. or like a Cillian Murphy, right? But you can get somebody who is as a phenomenal actor and who of course will obviously, blow this role away. Number 2, I have as Lars Michelson. If anybody's unfamiliar with him, he was, I personally remember him from, and one of the roles that really blew my mind for me was showed up in Sherlock. Now, Sherlock was it was a few seasons, but it was like each episode was like an entire movie. For the BBC with Benedict Cumberbatch, and he played this villain who was just absolutely menacing, never raised his voice, like super emotionalist, Plus, he was also General Thawne in Ahsoka. He also voiced the character in Star Wars Rebels and some of the other animations. So, I mean, I just think his role as Thrawn alone, voice-wise, as long as, even in the live action, he just has this cold, just his voice alone would just be iconic as Brainiac, I think. But if you've seen him with the different prosthetics, especially him as live action Thawne, I can absolutely see this guy playing Brainiac. I don't, and I'm sure this one, I think this one's a left field one. I don't think anybody probably would have thought about this one, but this guy, just alone from his performance as Thrawn, but really his performance in Sherlock for me. And he's, like I said, he's not like a huge name, and that's kind of what James Gunn goes with. He gets these, like I said, these curveball type of casting choices. I think Lars Michelson would just, that would be, I don't think you guys understand the performance that you would get if this guy were to play Brainiac. This guy it would be insane. It would be insane. So, down to numero uno, number 1. This is another one I think would be kind of left field. However, I think this would be a really great choice as Brainiac, just from the name alone, but also as from an actor standpoint, and that would be Bryan Cranston. He the way he's able to he's intelligent. He would definitely be like a very calculated supervillain. He would make Brainiac, I think, feel very dangerous, with keeping that calm demeanor, right? Without raising his voice, I guess you could say, in a sense. Very controlled rage type of deal. Walter White speaks for itself, but Bryan Cranston's a phenomenal actor, and very intimidating screen presence. He has the looks he gives. I honestly think that he would make a great Brainiac, and the fact that he is older as well. Same thing with Giancarlo Esposito. They're older, so they would, they could almost fit it's because it's an alien being who's been around for forever. So I think that he can definitely give that really, Oscar-worthy type of performance for sure. The guy won awards for playing Walter White. But Bryan Cranston would be number 1. But if it came down to it, man, if I'm looking through these names again that I've chosen, I'm like, man, if I had to pick one, and if I really had my choice to really pick one, I really love the idea of Lars Michelson playing Brainiac. I just think that would be insane. I think that would be insane for sure. But guys, that is my top 5 choices with a little honorable mention thrown in there to play Brainiac. So let me know what you guys think of the list down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. But guys, go ahead and put in the comments what you think, but I also want to hear your guys' top 5. Leave the comments down below. Your top 5. Throw in some honorable mentions. Let me hear names. I want to hear your guys' opinion. But thank you guys for joining Real Rumble. Peace out.